Hello, Nicholas here. All right, so today I'm going to be discussing from idea to invoice, structuring software projects that actually pay. This is actually even kind of for myself in a way because I have to say some things out loud for it to make sense sometimes. So there are two ways, I've said this so many times here. To be successful as a freelancer in software engineering, you cannot 100% depend on freelancer. Sometimes when I say it, most people don't understand. I feel like it's pretty clear in my head. Maybe it's the one communicating it, probably communicating it wrongly. But there are two ways I want to talk about this topic today, from idea to invoice. Now, the first one is of the freelancing. So somebody can have an idea and reach out to you to do the development. So from idea to invoice. Or the second one is you do have your own idea and you want to develop your own idea and put it out into the market where people obviously pay you. So invoice is just basically means you collecting money one way or the other. Right? So let's start with the first one, which is the freelancer. Right? So let's say a client reaches out to you that they want to do a project. How do you handle it? I'm just going to tell you how I do mine. Then you can decide how you want to do yours in the future, or maybe keep to doing your own. So for me personally, if a client reaches out to me and, hey Nick, we have an idea, this is what we want to do, blah 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 blah, how do we proceed with this? So the first thing I'm going to do is actually to tell them to document the idea, because I cannot because I've noticed that most times when they reach out to you with the idea, they want to know the cost immediately, but there is nothing documented. It's just words that you're saying over the phone, or maybe chats over text message. They say it's not something documented. You've not sat down to really document the idea. So in most cases, they don't do that. So I told them, first of all, document the idea. Put the idea in a document, maybe Google Doc, or put it in a PDF or something, and send to me. Now, once they send it to me, first thing I do is to read the document carefully, because sometimes they can add some sneaky little thing. Some people would add something like multilingual support for all languages. They can add something like it has to connect to Web3 interfaces to accept Web3 payments. So if you have not read it carefully and you forget to include that one and you cost it and they pay you and you start working on it and you now discover it, you see that the whole thing is now upside down. So the biggest part of that process for me is to carefully read it. After reading it, sometimes I actually push it into ChatGPT. I tell ChatGPT to tell me what I should stand out in this document. What should I be strictly aware of that I may not be considering? Obviously, I have trained my chat GPT and to kind of know what I do, how I do, it kind of knows me. So I'm just telling you my own process. So after doing that and I've seen everything that I need to know about the project, I would now cost it. I'll now say, okay, it's going to cost this amount of money in this number of days. So I now tell the client, hello, hi, maybe via call or via text. I prefer text because there is a way, or email, there is a way to document it. So they will not say that I did not hear you clearly. It's written. So I will now send them a message or an email telling them this is how much it's going to cost. This is how long it's going to take. And by my standard, I give an update once per week. So I'll now also specify what am I even saying? I'll now also uh, emphasize that if they are interested in this costing and in this duration, they should let me know so that I can now prepare a project proposal. Right? So I don't actually go before. I used to go right ahead to prepare the project proposal, but I discovered that sometimes it doesn't. Maybe I'll prepare the project proposal and do not want to add a few things or something, or maybe the price doesn't work for them, and I've ended up just doing all those things for nothing. And so the first thing I do is this is how much it's going to cost, this is how long it's going to take, and I also do not add miscellaneous costs, domain hosting, SSL, service costs. I don't add all those things to my own cost, and I try to give just the craftsmanship fee, the fee for the development, design, and uploading. That is all I'm going to let them know. And I also specify it on the email or the message, right? And now, if they agree, then I'll now move over to the next step. And the next step is to prepare the project. The project proposal. Yeah. So once I prepare the project proposal, document everything, project overview, project scope, deliverables, project schedule, technologies used, then payment structure and signatories. Once I've done that, I'll send it to them. Hey, this is the project proposal. Kindly go through it and let me know if there is any observations, questions, or concerns they might have. So once I have done that and I've sent it to them, if all is clear, they sign, and I'll now send over the invoice. Once they make payment, we kick off immediately. If all is not clear, they tell me what they want adjusted, we adjust it. If it's going to adjust the cost, we adjust it till all is clear. So once all is clear, fine, I'll send over the kickoff invoice, and we begin. So that's how I handle that freelancer side. Now, when it comes to my own projects, if I have an idea, the first thing I do is I get pen and paper. I don't actually use typing or computer. For some reason, pen and paper works best for me. So I write it in bullet points. I don't try to document. It's my idea. I'm not trying to document it as detailed as possible. No, I just get pen and paper and bullet point it and just write it in bullet points what I want to do, the key features, how I'm going to go about it, not necessarily in details, but just like, okay, login, registration, forgot password, reset password, user authentication, I'll just line it. Move to the next one, dashboard, admin dashboard, sidebar menu. I'll just document it as in a way that I know what the features are. Then once I've done that, I start building right away, or I schedule and I'll start building. In most cases, I did it right away just to get it up my system. So once I have done that, I launch it and I start marketing it. Because I'm a software engineer, for me, the marketing is usually the hardest part. The building is not the hard part for me. The marketing is where the work is, which is the reverse for most people. Let's say if you are a digital marketer, the work is in the development of the software for you because you are well comfortable in the marketing side. Oh, so it's the reverse for me because as a software engineer, building has never. I can build as much as I want, but if you build and nobody's using it, what's the point? So I try to make sure that it's something I am going to push into the market, and I am comfortable with pushing it into the market for a good amount of time to test it out. Then after I've done that and maybe it doesn't work, we cancel it and move to the next one. So that is how I handle both situations. There are still both invoices, there are still both collecting payments. Some would work and you get some payments if you are building on your own project though. Then some might not even work. You might not even get any user that pays you, and you might find a bunch of users. So it just depends. So that's all I have to say for today. Thank you very much for listening, and bye bye.